We begin this hour with word that the memorandum of understanding between the U.S. and Iran to end their war has now been signed and has taken effect. U.S. President Donald Trump and his Iranian counterpart have both signed on to the agreement, Trump putting his signature on a hard copy of the document before leaving France, where he had attended the G7 Leaders Summit.
This was not easy, I can tell you.
Among the 14 points laid out in the agreement, reopening the Strait of Hormuz, lifting sanctions on Iranian oil, and a $300 billion plan for Iran's reconstruction, plus a termination of military action on all fronts, including in Lebanon. Trump has insisted this memorandum ensures Iran will never make or buy a nuclear weapon. Here's how the MOU affects the Strait of Hormuz. We know that the critical waterway must reopen toll-free for 2 months. Tehran says they will charge ships after that. Now, remember, it was free before the war. Today, we are seeing some oil and gas tankers passing through that strait, including 3 Saudi-flagged supertankers. But industry insiders warn it could take weeks to clear the backlog. And the agreement also calls for the end to fighting on all fronts, including Lebanon. Iran says any continuation of Israeli military operations there constitutes a violation. Lebanon was drawn into the conflict when Hezbollah fired rockets at Israel in early March in support of Iran. Now, despite a fragile truce, the two sides have exchanged numerous attacks. And speaking at a NATO gathering in Brussels today, the U.S. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth made it clear that the Trump administration is prepared to restart military action and reimpose a blockade if Iran does not fulfill its commitments under the agreement.
The President has pointed out that we will be prepared to recommence if, underneath the timeline of these talks, Iran does not do what it says it's going to do, which is give up nuclear weapons, give up nuclear ambitions, give away their nuclear material, close nuclear facilities, then the War Department is here and prepared to restart if we need to.
And the CBC's Crystal Gomansing is in Haifa, Israel, tracking reaction to the deal. She joins us now live. Hello, Crystal. So what are you hearing where you are?
Well, Arthi, I spoke with the CEO of Shlomi Local Council, and he says that he is skeptical about a deal, that he's seen agreements signed before, he's heard talk of ceasefires before. But Yoshi Lucci says that the hope for his area, because his location is right up against southern Lebanon, is that an agreement can be reached and that the focus will be on diplomacy, not further military action.
As we know, in the history, there was no conflict that ended with a military solution. There must be a solution agreement between the Israeli government and the Lebanon government. This is the only solution that can take the Hezbollah out of the region and make this area in better days.
That being said, we did hear from Israel Defense Forces. The IDF said they will continue to operate in areas in which they currently occupy and released a map of those locations. The area, I believe you can see it up now, the area that you see in red are some of those locations where they are operating in. It extends about 10 kilometers past Israel's northern border. Now, as they cleared those areas to put in IDF positions, they destroyed a number of communities and villages in southern Lebanon. We saw some of that destruction with our own eyes as we drove from Shlomi to here in Haifa. From our vantage point, there was a lot of areas that were reduced to rubble, very few buildings that you could see left standing. So that gives you an indication of just some of the destruction that has occurred on the Lebanese side of the border, Arthi.
Now, Crystal, it is difficult, of course, to get a clear perspective on reaction to the deal from Iran because of restrictions to access and communication. But what are we learning about how the deal is being viewed outside of Israel?
Well, we did hear from Iran's top negotiator, Mohammad Bakr Ghalibaf. He said that it was a failure on the part of the United States. Clearly, Iranian regime officials are feeling that they were victorious, that they were able to withstand roughly more than 3 months of attacks, not only from the United States, but Israel as well. As for the reaction from average people that we are getting out of Tehran, they are looking for some sort of return to normal, calm, and for there to be economic relief, given that we are being told that the sanctions by the United States will be waived.
فکر نمی‌کنم که بخوایم بگیم که شخص کشور خاصی حتما برنده شده. فکر می‌کنم هر دو طرف برندن چون منفعت‌های خودشون رو به دست آوردن. هیچ کس از تجاوز به کشورش خوشش نمیاد. این جنگ، این سر صدا خب باعث آزار به هممونه. خب مسلماً اگه به نفع مردم باشه ما هم خیلی خوشحالیم که اتفاق افتاده.
Now, a hope for a better future, for there to be peace, is something that people also are expressing in Lebanon.
إسرائيل ما بتلتزم أكيد 100%. إسرائيل ما بتلتزم ولا بعمرها التزمت. هي شفنا بغزة شو عملوا. اجتمعت العالم كلها كرمال اتفاق غزة، بعضهم عم يضربوهم بعضهم، وعلى الحدود عندنا بعضها شغالة ما بتهدى. أنا مشبه إسرائيل وحزب الله، مشبههم يعني مثل توم أند جيري، ما بيهدوا.
Now, we've said it before, and it's important to keep it in mind for context. What was signed was a memorandum of understanding, not a peace deal. That will be negotiated further over the next 60 days. But tomorrow in Switzerland, there will be technical talks that will take place, Arthi.
Crystal, thank you for this. That's the CBC's Crystal Gamansing in Haifa, Israel.